Welcome to tonight's show of Let's Talk About Ice, live from the Gold Coast, and looking very blue today. Not because of this virus that is going around Australia. It is a sad thing what's happening to us. But we just thought we'd add some colour to the show, and also invite Dickie Nee onto the show because we have got the Rambles coming up. Yes, we do have the Rambles coming up. Thank you, Dickie. You look beautiful today. It's Leanne Nee.
It's Leanne Nee. Leanne in need of help.
And the actual Rambles is happening this week.
How are we doing it, Andre?
Look, well,
with all the crowd, you know.
I know it's not about a crowd. We have cancelled the end of event gathering that we were going to have, so we're not going to have sausages, or we're not going to have music. We're not going to have gathering.
My brother.
Yeah, they'll have to download it. They'll just have to buy the CD. You know,
go to Spotify.
Highway Destruction.
Yeah,
it's on Google Play. It's on our shop. It's on Spotify. So you can download that there. Linda Hand, My Brother, but Highway Destruction is the album. You can get it there. So thanks for the plug, Leanne. But we are doing the Rambles with the Rotary, so they've chosen to continue because it is a treasure hunt, and we're just doing it on our own phones, and we go our own ways to do the treasure hunt, and then at the end they announce the winners online. So it's been on the go for a long time now, and people have registered, and it is a fundraiser for charity, guys. So there is no interaction, so there's no fear there. You'll just get to work off your phone and have a live map pretty much that you can follow, and it's a bit of a treasure hunt around the Gold Coast. It's still going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to dress up in our blues and our AOC t-shirts. Yes. Yeah, I love your hair.
You love my hair?
Yeah. I don't know about the sunnies though.
Sister.
I like your other glasses better. I'm jealous. I should let my plaits go so I have frizzy hair like this other. But we are
going hours on that.
I did. I plaited it all. It took me ages. Guys, you can help, okay? If you don't want to come and participate in the Ramble, that's fine. But you can donate to our Ramble cause. There is a link that's on our Facebook page.
I'll put that up in a minute.
Can click on there and you can sponsor us, because we're going to win.
Yeah, of course we are.
And so you can sponsor us and become part of the actual Ramble and watch it on Sunday. So that Sunday the 22nd at 10 a.m. Oh, we're going to say p.m.
10 a.m. So we can put a freeze on ice, mate.
Amen.
So frozen it's blue.
That's right. Yeah. So blue being our colour. If you want to come and join us, let us know. Yeah. So if you do want to come out and have a good time with us, and come on the Ramble and help us fundraise.
Stay 20 metres away.
Yeah. You just can't.
Don't touch your face.
No. And don't touch your face, Leanne. Oh. And don't get too close to let people breathe on you.
Sorry,
and you don't have to
You greet with the nanu with the arms, I've noticed.
Or you can kick.
Oh, you can kick, can you? I'd rather do the nanu way.
But we're just putting a bit of light on a very sad situation. You've got to turn, I guess, the spotlight on other stuff when you're going through trialing times. But I'm sure Australia's got this covered, and we're going to be out of this problem real quick.
It'll go as quick as it came.
Yeah, amen.
Speaking of going as quick as they came, I'm going to be online to answer your questions. So please type in your questions as our beautiful guest speaker, Cherie, speaks in a moment. All right, and I'll say hello to everybody. That's my iPad, and that's never rung in my life. That's never rung. See, let's let it ring now. Family support. Thanks for the fans.
If you need family support or some help, and you're in addiction and you want to create a pathway out, the number to call is 1-800-NO-TO-ICE. 1-800-NO-TO-ICE. Brad will put it on the screen with the numbers. Brad, thank you for being here today again. He's from Extreme, and they do all our videoing and our filming, and he can live stream, guys. So with everything going online at the moment, meetings, churches, schools, if you need somebody that's amazing. I can talk to somebody in another state. We're actually going to cross over to New Zealand next week, and Brad's going to make that possible because he just sends them a link and he films it, and we can talk to them overseas at the same time. He can get all your people together. So if you're looking for somebody that's reliable, somebody that turns up every week for the last 3 years, filming every Thursday night, not asking for a cent, and diligent, always being here, except for the couple of times in the whole 3 years where we've turned our show sideways, and he had a bit of a giggle. We really missed him. So if you need somebody, Extreme is the people to call. Brad, can you please put your number up on the screen so that people can get a hold of you? Yeah, or private message us. We can give you his number and contact email and stuff. So everything's going online, guys. So maybe it might be for 3 months. It might be, who knows, right? And AARC, we are.
Just finish up for a sec?
Yep.
Yeah, Karen.
Awesome. The Chariots of Light and AARC are brothers and sisters, and we work side by side together. We're really grateful for their love and support. They are planning a poker run in June the 6th, and it's going to be awesome. We already have so many people interested in joining, and if you don't know what that is, basically all people that ride bikes, and if you don't have a bike, that's okay, you can join us as well in your car. So we meet at a place, and then you register, yeah, and that's part of the awareness and fundraising that we're doing for AARC. And we ride to different spots, and when we get to different spots, we eat together and we have fun and we listen to music, and we're doing this in collaboration with the Vietnam vets. So at the end, what will happen, we've got the Adam Hole Band will be playing. I have reached out to Jimmy Barnes, John Stevens, Angry Anderson. If you're watching the show, guys, come on. Where's my Aussie musos that can help support, putting the Freeze on Ice in Australia? We're a charity, non-funded, doing, none of us get paid to do what we do, but we're helping people every day, and we need your voice. Okay, literally, we need your voice and your gifting that you've been gifted as a musician to help us spread the message. So, doing a call out for any musos that want to join us. But the Adam Hole Band are going to be joining us, and we're really excited because they did our show in Shine last year, and they will be playing at the Vietnam Vets at the final club. I think you call it a clubhouse, I'm not sure, but we'll bring some of the Chariots to tell you a bit more about it moving forward over the next month. And I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody that joined the fundraising campaign to help us keep our doors open. As you know, in December, our roof caved in where our offices were. We lost everything. We're currently being housed by the Well Sales, another charity. Thank you to Russell and Elizabeth McClune for housing us in a space that they were going to do something else with, but they've stopped their mission to include us and help us because they believe in what we do. So I'm so grateful, and we're really, really blessed to have this, a space to work out of at the moment. But we do need to get back up on our feet. We lost a lot of
Okay, yeah, Karen. Yes, sir.
Is it continuing or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
Okay, so we're back?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
I just want to hold it slightly, so it should hold on to it.
Sorry guys, we're just having a little bit of technical difficulties because we're not in our usual space and we're just learning another room. We're having internet issues.
Ready?
Huge,
Yeah.
huge thank you to everybody that helped with the fundraiser, guys. And Amanda, thank you so much. You know who you are, and I'm so grateful for all your help in this campaign. And I know you're busy working, and you're amazing how you juggle things and just help with the social media side of things. We're really, really grateful for you and Wes. So thank you so much. So you guys would have probably seen a show about a couple of months ago where I sat on the couch and interviewed Kerry. If you haven't seen it, I want you to have a look on our YouTube channel or down the page, some of our videos, because tonight we're going to interview Kerry's wife?
Fiance.
Fiance, that's right. And we have Cherie on the couch. Cherie, thank you so much for joining us.
That's all right. Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate you coming on the show. It's always hard to I guess share, but sharing the other side of the full story, and it's good to get that because somebody can share their story, but you often wonder how was it for the other person. Was it the same? Were you both, in the same mind frame? And did you feed off each other? And, did you try and get out of that space together? And what happened? So I'm going to take this off, guys, because you can't take me seriously with it, but it's a little bit uncomfortable. So we'll go on to hear a little bit about your story today. So tell me a little bit about your childhood, Cherie, like
When I started,
your childhood. What was your childhood like? Like, were you brought up in Australia?
yeah, I was born in Brisbane.
Yeah.
I lived with my dad till I was 13, and then I moved to the Gold Coast when I was 13,
Yeah.
and moved in with my mum. And I didn't have the greatest upbringing. I'm not going to go too much into that one, but yeah, that's probably where a lot of stuff happened. So yeah.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have one brother and two half sisters. My brother passed away though, and he had a bad ice addiction. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. So there was, drug use in your family already before you even touched it?
Yeah.
I've got to ask this because I think people will be asking this. And it's a question that comes up a lot for us, if kids see their parents using drugs, I would think that they would see the devastation that comes along with that. And watching your brother in that life, I want to know what was going on in here for you. Did you think I'm never going to live that life, or did you just think that that's what you do?
I never saw my parents actually taking any drugs, not even really heavy drinkers or anything.
Yep.
I started smoking marijuana when I was 13 though, and I never actually was a product of watching anyone take any drugs in my family.
So you didn't see your brother, you didn't know that he was doing that. Okay,
No,
interesting.
yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
wow.
Yeah.
So they talk about, a conduit that runs through a family line, like an inheritance, and that's really interesting because I have heard that, like that it's in your blood. You hear people go, oh, it's just in their blood because, that's how sometimes family, I know that this is, can be true where a child can be brought up really away from their family, but they kind of follow suit in a lot of behaviours, and you kind of go, but they didn't even live with them, but they go, oh, it's in their blood, it's interesting because it's not like you saw the product, and you saw them taking it and thought, you didn't have the opportunity to go, I never want to do that because this is the consequence of that. But you followed suit. That's really, really interesting.
My dad used to do drugs. I'm not sure what type of drugs, but I know he did drugs and he used to do drugs. So, but I never witnessed it growing up. So it was more when I went into high school that I started smoking marijuana.
Yep.
And then as I got older, harder drugs. So it was
So-
more through my friends. Yeah.
What was that? When somebody first offered you drugs, what was your thought process? Did you think like marijuana would lead you to heavier drugs, or?
I didn't know. I thought it was cool back then. So I remember smoking my first bong in my girlfriend's underneath the house in her laundry.
Yep.
And I had my first bong, and I didn't continue it every day,
Yep.
but it was something that I did occasionally. So yeah.
And did that grow into more often?
Yes.
How long did that time take? Like before you?
Probably when I was 16, 17.
Yep.
That
So-
was just marijuana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from 13 to 16, 17, you kind of used occasionally,
Occasionally, yeah.
and then it kind of grew to becoming a bit more frequent.
Yep.
How did that affect your life?
Smoking marijuana.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I thought I was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it affected it, but now I can see how it did. So yeah.
How did it?
Or smoking marijuana for so many years, you know, every weekend or every couple of days or whatever it was. I wanted to try something harder.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you know, I wanted to bring that, see what your thoughts were behind that, because you know, we hear a lot of people go, oh, you know, it's not that bad for you, you know, and you know, marijuana is not really a gateway drug, and people that have started there and moved their way into heavier drugs will tell you otherwise.
Mm.
So it is a topic that's very controversial, because a lot of people say, you know, it's a man-made. It's not a man-made product. It's a, you know, it's a herb. It's grown in, you know, long-term use of marijuana causes schizophrenia, and it does affect your brain. So you know, if you look at the effects of marijuana on the brain, you know, and on the psyche, there are side effects, negative side effects. So you know, I'm not going to open an argument here, but I just want to hear it from the horse's mouth. You know, I didn't get into marijuana. I went straight, you know, to ice, not knowing what it was. But I'd known people that had smoked marijuana, and they didn't die on the spot. So you know, I thought, oh, you know, it's no big deal. But I didn't see what was going on inside in here.
Yeah.
And I did see some friends move to other drugs, and one even died. You know, because he was on heavier drugs, and you know, not from the drug, but he lost consciousness and you know, had a car accident and ended up in a coma and had this machine switched off. So that happened when I was about 18. So I saw them start to do marijuana as a group thing, you know, when you're young, 15, and scrounge up 2-cent pieces at the time. We had 2-cent pieces, that's right, giving away my age now, and to make up, you know, $20, so you know, they could get a stick, you know, and that moved on, you know, to speed, and moved up to injectables, and I watched that happen, you know, and I thought, I'm never going to do that, you know. But the first time that they did a bit of marijuana every so often, it didn't look that bad, you know, and I thought, you know, when somebody offered me a pipe to have a bit of a puff, I kind of associated that with, you know, smoking marijuana. You know, they didn't die. I just a bit of a smoke. It's not like a needle going in your arm or anything, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that process. Tell me how that flowed on from there.
I started, so ice wasn't my first hard drug of choice, that I was introduced to. I was introduced to ecstasy in pill form when I was 17. So I would take pills every weekend and go out dancing, because I loved to dance and stuff like that. So, and I thought it was just a fun thing to do.
Did you know that some people die from that? And did you not worry about that?
You think you're invincible.
Yeah. So you think it won't happen to you?
Yeah.
You know, it does.
Yeah.
And it's sad because you know, we hear about it a lot. And Anna, we have a book that we've read, Anna's story, and it's about raising awareness about pill taking, you know. You never think it's going to happen to you. When we go into the schools and we talk about ice, I mean, really, I didn't like plan my life, and I'm sure you didn't either. You know, when I, you know, try this drug, I'm going to become an ice addict, and I'm going to end up homeless, and I'm going to end up, you know, stealing, or, you know, in jail. Or, you don't start out like that. You know, you never think it's going to happen to you. You know, and you're probably the same. I just use it occasionally. Just, you know, I've got a hold on this. You know, I can handle this, and it won't happen to me. That was that person because they took too many or whatever. But tell me how that started to take control of your life.
I met a partner when I was 17, a few months after, and he was a needle injector.
What was he taking?
Speed.
Yep.
Yep. And he would bring pills home all the time, and so the weekend turned into a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, and then I lost my job because I would take so many pills.
Yep.
Yep. I wouldn't want to go to work because of the anxiety, and I'd been awake for days, and yep.
Yeah. And did he work?
Yeah, at the same job.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Did he lose his job as well?
Yep.
Yeah. So you guys got started taking. Were you injecting?
No. I've never injected. No. Yeah.
But you know that just because you don't inject, but you ingest or you smoke it, it still actually does the same thing to your brain and your body inside, right? You're still putting that chemical concoction of chemicals that are eating away at your vascular system, at your neurological pathways in your brain, breaking all of that down. It's poison. Stuff that's in ice. Talk to kids. You got acetone. You got Drano. You got glass fillers, countertop cleaners, and it's just battery acid. Those kind of chemicals that you're putting into your body, and you think, oh, it won't harm me. It won't happen to me. Well, you're human. And it does happen to you. We're living proof of that. So tell me about what it looked like, what your life looked like when you lost your job and you were using drugs with your partner and he lost his job. How are you guys affording to
I just
keep
got
your habit?
another job.
You got another job? Okay. And how did you sustain that?
I'd just take more drugs to go to work and
Wow.
stay awake, and I didn't worry what anyone else thought.
How long did you have that job for?
About a year, around a year.
Wow. And was it a big responsibility type of job?
Oh, well, back then, when
Yeah.
I'd just turned 18 when I got this job, so I had to run a whole bakery.
Yeah.
So and I didn't think that anybody knew that I was on drugs.
Yeah.
And I lost weight really, really quickly.
Wow.
So I used to be quite a bigger person. And then I went to skin and bone. So I looked anorexic.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's not much of you now, you're tiny.
Oh, no. There's a lot of me now compared to what?
What were you weighing?
About 42 kilos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I went from about 80 kgs. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
And did you not see yourself in the mirror?
I didn't really look in a mirror.
So were you awake a lot? And tell me about what your life was like.
I was just awake a lot, and
What would you guys do? Like during the day, you go to work and come home and do drugs?
and just party,
Yeah.
dance, talk crap.
Yeah. And did you have a family life?
No. No.
Why?
Because I was taking drugs so much, I didn't think about anyone else but myself.
Did your family not suspect that that things weren't okay for you?
They never really said anything,
Mm.
and I didn't think because I didn't say anything that they would know, but now that I've spoken to them, or after I moved home, they knew the whole time, but they just wanted me to wake up to myself, so they
They
didn't want
probably
to.
didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we hear that a lot, guys. We get a lot of calls from family members that, have loved ones in addiction, and they don't know what to do. And that's where, our peer support service can step in and help, because our families and, people that have been through it, through the addiction cycle, contemplation cycle, and know what's going on from the addict side, they can come in and give you some tools on how to help your loved one, some resources on where to go, and what that process looks like. Initially, we put people on a tripod system of support for the people in addiction, and we help them create a pathway out of hell. but for the families, it's really devastating to hear some of the cries for help from families. And people are lost, you know, they don't know. They love their kid, but they don't know how to communicate and they don't know how to help. They love their husband, wives, partners, and they're standing and watching them, you know, kill themselves. That really is what is happening.
I think a lot of people are too afraid to say anything because they don't want to upset them, but it's probably best if they do upset them, you know, than killing themselves on a drug. So,
Yeah. And there is a way to do that, guys. And you know, we can give you some training on our website. There's some training called Sammy Brief. It's a 2-hour online training that Optimal Health Group have put together. And if you click on there, George will go through some videos that will explain the cycle of addiction. It'll explain the cost versus the benefits conversation that you can have with your loved one. There's some tools that we can give you so that you can have the right conversation at the right time, because timing is everything. And if you can, you know, I guess work out the cycle and where they're at in that cycle of addiction, is getting in and having that conversation at the right time, putting the boundaries in place so that you protect yourself, but also help them get to that place of contemplation. Because while you're enabling and you keep feeding their habit, they will keep doing what they're doing, and it's a really hard thing, you know, to do. And you need all the support you can get. So that's why we encourage you to, you know, give our family support line a call. You know, if I'm talking to you and you need some help, that number to call is 0481 844 555. And Leanne heads up the care team there, and she'll be able to connect you as well, you know, with your local family support group, and we'll be able to give you some tools and some training and some links and stuff to watch that can help you. Yeah, so that's 0481 844 555. Yeah, so it must have been devastating for your family just watching your weight come off and you melt away, and the distance that was between, you know, you and your family at that time. Tell me about what happened from there. How long did you stay?
It was another year I stayed. It was actually in Southport. And then I moved to Oxenford with his parents, and it just went right downhill because we continued to take drugs in his family home.
Yeah.
And then I rang my mum one day and I said I couldn't do it, and I was almost 19 and she came and got me and I went home. Yeah.
Awesome. So you reached out to her. Yeah.
And she'd been wanting me to reach out, so as soon as I did, she got in that car and she came and got me straight away.
That's beautiful. That's love. Tell me about what happened after that.
I met another male and we became boyfriend and girlfriend. And we would take recreational drugs again, so speed, pills, and even one point I can remember we were at one of his girlfriend's house, or girlmate's house, and me and her in her bedroom, and she brought out a box and there was a pipe in it, and I didn't know what it was, and she loaded in what I thought was speed and took a puff and gave me a puff, and I didn't even ask what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what it was. I was 19 when that happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was your first hit of
Ice.
ice. Yeah. I've got to ask this question again, because having gone through that with that partner, I would have thought, you know, that and I'm just going to say this because people at home are going, well, didn't she learn the first time? Like, what were you thinking that you went there again?
I didn't know, I didn't think really. Yeah, I just thought it was fun, and yeah.
Did you think it was going to end up the same as before with the other partner, you know, the second time round?
Didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what happens a lot, you know. We encourage the kids in the schools when we go and do the program. You know, it's about forward thinking, and you know, we don't tell them not to do drugs. We're not there to do that. It doesn't work. Yeah, but we show them about what this drug does to you and what it did to us, and we tell them about our journey, and we tell them what it stole from us and what scars it left us with, and you know, we hope that they make better choices for themselves than what we did, because we didn't know, we didn't have the labels, we didn't have anybody come and tell us or show us. You didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know what it was either. I just took it, you know. But the kids that we get in front of understand then the consequences of this drug. You know, they're very clear on what it's going to do, and they can then get prepared in forward thinking. We so much as leave the teachers with role plays for them to roll out with the kids 24 to 48 hours after we come out of school. So they've got scenarios, you know, that have been put together by the Queensland Theatre Company. They've got scenarios that they go into with groups in the classroom. There's 6 different scenarios, and they break into groups and they role play. Yeah. Your friend offers you, you know, a pill or a pipe. What do you say? What do you do? Or you know, somebody's using that you love, and you know, you see them with a needle. What do you say? How do you react? And you know, they get to learn that it's okay to say no, you know, and they get to feel what it's like to not partake in that activity, and they workshop answers and they talk about it, you know, and that is a thing. We never had the opportunity to understand or talk about that. I think too that the kids get to see that ice doesn't only come in the white crystals that you see on television. You know, it comes in a powder form, and it comes, you know, you can shoot it up, you can put it in water, there's so many different ways of taking it in pill form. You know, pills are being cut with ice, marijuana's being laced with ice. We give them an array of different names that it's called, you know, so that they can be aware and understand that, you know, it's not, might not walk up to you and say, you know, do you want to do some ice? But they might say, I've got some Tina, or they might got some strawberry quick in the back, and it's, you know, it's an awesome, you know, relaxes you and makes you feel good. You need to be aware that is ice and methamphetamine, and what it actually does to your body and your brain. And some people never come out of ice world, as we call it. A lot of people end up in jail, mental health institutes, or dead, you know, and a very small percentage manage to break that cycle. It's a lot of work, and it's hard, and the actual life hurts once you get entrapped in there, and just to, you know, to find that way out is extremely difficult. So we offer a peer support service. People like Cherie, like myself, who've been there, can actually stand with you and show you what we did that worked, and that can help you create a pathway into a better life for you, yeah? Because nobody deserves to be trapped in that addiction cycle.
Yeah.
Tell me something, what was so bad that made you want to get clean?
It was last year. Oh, well, I've been on and off taking drugs since I was obviously 16, or 13, sorry. And I've gotten clean. I can't actually remember the exact amount of times, but it'll be 4 or 5 times, and it'll be off coke, ice, speed, marijuana. So,
Did you go to rehab all those times?
I've never been to rehab, I've never been to detox, I just always went home to Mum's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mum is my rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good food and a lot of love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever work on the underlying issues?
No, not until last year.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you're doing that now.
Yeah.
So what was so bad about that world, drug world, ice world, that triggered you to make a change?
After so many years of taking hard drugs, even marijuana, the psychosis, my anxiety, I thought that everybody didn't like me. I didn't like people looking at me. I felt like there was something wrong with me. I felt very unloved. And it didn't matter how much amount of drugs I would take, that didn't make it any better in the end. It just made it worse and worse every time I take it.
Yeah. Tell me a bit about the psychosis. Tell me a day-to-day kind of scenario. If somebody was hanging around you, what would they see?
A very, very quiet person,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm still breaking out of.
Mhm.
Still learning my self-worth. I know it a lot better now.
Good.
But yeah, very quiet person. I was a very happy, outgoing, silly, didn't care what anybody thought, how anybody looked at me, what I did. If they laughed, it did not bother me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the person that I became. So
Yeah.
I would be really quiet, not look around. Yeah, just very self-drawn.
Why? What was going on in here?
I had really bad skin, and my
Mhm.
appearance has always been a very big thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to pick as a coping mechanism when I was on drugs.
Yep.
Because when the thoughts would start, I would pick.
Yep.
Yeah, just the anxiety, and soon I just didn't want to be around anybody, and a few times I wanted to end my life because it was a lot easier than dealing with my issues.
Yeah.
Yep.
What kind of issues were you facing that were driving you to think that?
Just the way that people would react to me when I would ask them things. A lot of father issues.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
How would they react? Like, I'm trying to dig in because we've got family watching.
Mhm.
They're trying to help their loved ones, and they don't hear this.
yeah.
Yeah. So we're trying to get inside there so that they can better understand how they can help their loved ones through you being able to share the, a lot of family members are like, I don't know what she's thinking. I don't know how to help. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was going on for you? What were you thinking?
Nobody really asked me if I was okay.
Okay, good.
And if I did decide to talk out, they would always want to tell me how to make it better and not actually listen to what I wanted and what I needed. And that's okay because I was probably very hard to deal with.
Yeah.
But that's the only way I knew how to, so I'd explode.
Yep.
Yep.
For the people at home, how do you think that it could have been done different from people around you? Like, how would you have rather people talk to you? How?
People asked me what I was feeling inside
Yep.
instead of what they saw.
Yep.
What I needed,
Yep.
which was people just to listen, be compassionate, not tell me that what I was doing was wrong.
Yep.
Because even though I know it
You
is
knew
very
that.
wrong,
But you knew that, right?
but I needed somebody to literally wrap me in a blanket and, yeah,
Tell you that you're worth more than this,
yeah. I never had that as a child though, so,
and that they believed in you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that you could do it too because I did it.
mm,
I got out.
Yeah.
And then I'd be prepared to stand with you
mm,
and walk with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mm.
And that's what we do, guys. That's what we do. That's our peer support service. That is exactly what we do. And that's exactly, because we know, we've been there. So we know what the person needs, and that a lot of times you feel so isolated, when you're in that space that nobody understands.
Yeah.
And it is, I hear you, it is. Sometimes it's easier just to go, I don't want to be here anymore because I can't get out of this cycle, because they don't understand what I'm going through, and it's difficult to make the transition.
Yeah.
How did you do it?
The last time I got off drugs was with my partner Kerry. He asked me to go home.
Yep.
So my mum, which was very hard.
So
but
you were both using together?
in the end, yes. At the start we weren't, no.
So what he was using but you weren't, or vice versa?
And then I started Can't Beat 'Em, Join 'Em.
Yep.
And I thought that would make him love me more and I could convince him to stop. And
Yep.
so I went.
So you did try not to use
Yeah.
that last time, in the last relationship, but you did,
Mm.
yeah. And, you know, I hear sometimes, you know, we are helping one of the girls or a guy and they go, "Oh, but, you know, I'm not going to use, they're using, but I'm out, I'm done." It's a matter of time. You will,
Yeah.
you will.
Especially
lapse.
if you feel unwanted,
Yeah.
you'll think that it will make them want you more.
Yeah.
If you take, because
Yeah.
you're doing what they're doing.
That's right.
Yep.
You'll be part of it. You know, it's about fitting in. It's about being loved, and you know, you're just destroying more of yourself and more of your relationship.
Yeah.
Really, that's not the answer.
Mm.
What is the answer? How'd you get out?
Don't hang around people that take drugs, even if you think that they're your friends. They're not.
Mm.
If anybody offers you drugs, they're not your friends.
Yeah.
Even if you've been through, you know, I had friends that were heavily into drugs and they'd help me and this and that, but in the end, if they're touching drugs and they're not helping you get clean and that's what you want, or, you know, which everybody needs to get off drugs.
Yeah, it's just, it gives you negative stuff into your life.
Yeah.
It destroys your body, it destroys your mind, destroys relationships. It doesn't bring you anything positive,
No.
you know, and that is the thing. You might think, "Oh yeah, now I'm having a great time," for a minute. Wait, you know what's going on inside. It will catch up with you, and it's
Yeah.
a matter of time, especially ice. You know, that I know people that have used ice for a very short period of time. They've gone into psychosis, and I do want to go back on that, based on that, and they have not come out of psychosis ever. Like, they're stuck there in psychosis, in this entrapment, and it's a horrible place to be. Tell me about psychosis for you. I know you were picking, and you know, we show some of the videos about when people are picking, and you know, some people choose to say, "Oh, that's a scare tactic. That doesn't really happen." It happened to you, right?
And when I mean picking, like, I mean picking your whole face.
Yeah.
Not just like one or two pimples,
Yeah.
but like your whole face. You will pick everywhere of your body.
Yeah.
Um,
What were you thinking? Did you think there was something under your skin, or?
no, I never thought there was bugs or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it just, there was, you know, if I had like a white head, I didn't want it to be there, and I thought it would make it go away, but it would just make it worse, and then I'd have like a massive thing on my face, and I mean massive,
Yeah.
like huge,
Yeah.
not a normal pimple,
Yeah.
like a really bad sore, like you've grazed yourself.
I did that to my legs, and
Yep.
the reason that happens is that obsessive compulsive disorder, okay, that's what happens when you use ice, because it affects your central nervous system, and you start picking at something, and you pick at the same spot because you're obsessed, okay, in that actual spot. But then because you're not eating and you're not drinking and you're not sleeping, your
Yeah.
body doesn't self-heal. And so what happens is you end up with a big sore full of pus and infection, you know, and your body's not healing it, yeah? It's an open wound. But then, you know, you go on to the next bit because that looks terrible, so you make it worse, you know.
And you
it's
think
just-
you're going to get into it, so you just keep going deeper and deeper. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just, I did do that too on my right leg, and I managed to get out of that. It is a type of psychosis because
Yeah.
you get obsessed and fixed,
Mm.
you know, in a particular thing. And then because of you, when you see that, your self-esteem will go even lower.
Even now, if I have a pimple, and you know, there are girls that still got pimples,
Yeah.
so it does make me very self-conscious even now. So that's something that I'm still
Working on.
working on. Yeah.
Well, I've got to say, you're beautiful, absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I always, you know, people go, "Oh, look, you know, you're beautiful." I go, beauty comes from within.
Yeah.
Inside.
Yep.
It's not a physical thing. You start to shine that, you know, physically, but you're just absolutely inside and out, just stunning. Your eyes glow, and you're just beautiful. I've just got to let you know that. Happy you received that.
Yeah.
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 Tell me about how, we haven't got much left on the show, but I want to know what happened with Kerry, and then how you managed to get out of that.
So Kerry sent me home. I didn't want to leave because I love Kerry so much, and I thought that we could just battle it out and get through it, but that's not the case. We were so broken.
How? What does broken look like? Some people at home might not understand that language, you know.
We didn't know how to love each other.
Mm.
Everything that we spoke to each other was not nice.
Yeah.
We both thought the other one was doing something, and I don't actually think that was the case. I don't really relive that very often, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just weren't nice to each other. We weren't violent, but there was pushing and shoving, and we literally, like, we just didn't even know how to touch each other. We didn't know, like, we were saying we loved each other, but there was no meaning behind the word.
Yeah.
It was just spoken word, just for the sake of it.
So the drugs, instead of bringing you closer to him, actually ripped you apart.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
How did you stop that cycle?
Because after I went home, I still wanted to talk to Kerry.
Yeah.
His family actually asked me to let Kerry be until he got better,
Yeah.
Which was very hard. But
Yeah.
if they didn't ask me to leave him be, I would have just kept going, and we wouldn't be where we are today.
How long did that go for?
I think it was about two or 3 months. About 2 months actually. Yeah. And I just had to suck it up. Yeah. And I just had to put all my love into my family for once in my life, instead of putting, my partner first. I had to put my family first. Yeah. Which helped a lot. And then me and Kerry came back together, and Kerry asked me to go to sisterhood.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go at first. But then I eventually went, I think after about 4 weeks of him asking me. And I went there, and that's what's changed my life.
Tell me what it is.
Sisterhood.
Yeah.
You can be your complete self. There's no judgment. Nobody looks at you in a way that makes you feel like you're not wanted, you're silly or stupid. What you've been through is embarrassing. You can just be completely real and raw, and I'd never ever had that in my life, ever from family.
So sisterhood, guys, so you know, is a group. There's lots of sisterhood groups. Alongside that, there is also Man Up, so for the men, and they do an amazing program. How long does the program run for?
15 weeks.
15 weeks. Incredible program that we are blessed to be working alongside with in partnership with them, and being able to refer people to the program to help. It helps break down all the stuff, what happened, and there's other people that have been through it, and they're able to hand over some tools and ideas about how they worked through it and what worked and what didn't work, and just a place of unconditional love and acceptance and peer support, which is what ARC do best, is stand next to each other and say, hey, we're the same, and I'm no better than you, you're no better than me, whether you're in the gutter today, I've been there, and get up, get up. And let's do life together. So without that love, it's really difficult to get out of that cycle of addiction. It really is. And unconditional love is a huge part, as well as the tools, the experience in different aspects of life, to be able to be shared together. And so you go attend and help Sisterhood now. You've been through the program.
I started last October.
Awesome.
And then I planted myself in the Destiny Church with Kerry. Which is probably the next best thing ever in my life.
That's awesome.
And we're now in week, I did it today. We just did week 11. No, 11. 11. and I do that. I actually help Els
Yep.
do the Southport one.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I actually ran my first one today by myself because Els couldn't make it. So
Well done.
yeah, that was very nerve-wracking, but I did it. And
Well done.
yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well done. And you and Kerry have worked through things,
Yep.
and you're together.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's taken time, but we're getting there, and yeah, we got there.
Yeah.
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 But it takes time to
Wow.
heal everything.
Yeah.
Just now, childhood hurts, really. Yeah.
And you do have to unpack, the stuff.
Yeah.
You have to get counselling or do some treatment. Yeah, we call treatment. But it's about unpacking the underlying issues surrounding addiction and the journey. Because if you just not using drugs, but you haven't done that, you're at risk of relapsing. You're not really in recovery. You are abstaining from using. And it's a matter of time before you pick up again. We've seen it way too much. And it is about doing the work,
Yeah.
in a safe environment. I've watched what you guys do at Sisterhood, and I just think it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And we're just so blessed to have you there, because we're able to help people create that pathway, put them on a tripod system of support, create that pathway, do the program, and become part of the ARC family as well. Go back out there and educate, youth in schools and people in workplaces, and help peer support other people that are reaching out to us. And so we just, together we achieve more. And many of you have seen that on my card. And it's about uniting, it's about holding hands and linking arms, and even though we can't touch each other at the moment. But it is about, in the spirit, linking together and going, we're going to fight this. We're going to, Australia is one of the highest ice users per capita in the world. The problem's not going away. Victoria had a 53% rise in meth use in the last year. I believe nationally it was 37% increase, last year. The problem's not going away. Wastewater research over a 6-year period showed us 480% increase in meth across Australia. It's not changing. What we're doing is not working. We are still unfunded. We continue to do the work into year 6. We've had a 3-year study produced on our program and the impact of what we do, and it works. Just on a fortnight we've helped 14 families. Every day we are doing the work, and that's why we put out fundraisers out there, and we thank you for your support, because every day we're changing lives. In 2015 the stats showed us that youth, this is between the ages of 12 and 25, okay, that age group. In 2015, 27 youth a day were becoming addicted to ice.
Wow.
Yeah, that's in 2015.
Wow.
And today, I this year alone, or last year actually, up in North Queensland, kids as young as 8 and 12 and 11 being introduced to ice. I'm not okay with that. And really, Australia, you shouldn't be either. This is 2 and 3 generations deep, and we've got to do something different. Let's look at what is working, and let's support that. Let's stand together in unity for something that is changing lives, is actually doing something for our community. And Sisterhood, Man Up, Australian Anti-Ice Campaign. What we're doing, we don't have a 1% a success rate. Is actually into the 90s. So we're having extreme success rate, and we're having our studies done on longitude studies on AARC's programs through Torrens University. It started off with Griffith, and now it's at Torrens University. We're doing a longitude study on that. But we need to do something different. The biggest cause of domestic violence, crime rise, mental health. Look at all the homelessness. Look at all the things that have just escalated. Go and see what the common denominator is. ice is rampant in our community, and we need to do something about it today, not tomorrow, today. And it starts with you. You can help by donating on our webpage. It's 100% tax deductible. You can help by coming in, volunteering some of your time. You can help by contacting your local school and saying, you've got to get these guys in there to protect our kids. There's many ways that you can help. Spread the message. You can share this video today, yeah, and show other kids that it starts off with a bit of marijuana and it goes on to other drugs and it moves on and the cycle keeps repeating until you break that, and there is a way out, and Cherie can show you. If you're stuck in that space, we can connect you, and she can help you create that pathway because she did it. So thank you for sharing your story tonight.
That's all right.
If there's any final words that you want to give, to girls out there that might think that, that they'll want to be cool by using drugs, or they'll feel loved by
Do
using.
not hang around anybody that takes drugs. Don't even try marijuana if you haven't tried it. Just don't have friends that take drugs, because you're going to end up taking drugs. Like, there's going to be some time that you're upset, or you're feeling sad, unloved, and you're going to take drugs.
And it just steals from you.
Yeah.
It destroys you, and you've been very blessed to be able to come out
Yeah.
of that and be able to get your life back. Like I said, it's a small percentage of people that actually get out of that space, and it's been hard work, I would imagine.
Yeah. Tough love.
Yeah.
But tough love works, so yeah.
Are
And
you
hard
le-
work.
Are you left with any lingering effects of ice, Will? Physically, emotionally, mentally?
I still feel like it's still like I was taking drugs for a long time,
Yeah.
over 10 years. So I still feel like it's coming out.
Yeah.
Every day I become a different person.
Good.
But they say I think it's 12 months and you're like a completely new person.
It takes 12 to 18 months.
Yeah. So
12 to 18 months for the neurological pathways to, come back to where you can start, processing 100% on your own, logic,
Yeah.
rational decisions. Your dopamine supplies, spurting out again, and your body rebalances and eliminates a lot of that physically,
Yeah.
mentally, and emotionally. So it does take work, and it
My
takes
skin-
time.
my skin's still getting better, my hair's still getting thicker, my
Yeah.
hair's actually still growing. It's
Awesome.
not thin and breaking off anymore.
Yeah.
So it's taken a good 6 months now for it to
Wow.
grow like this much.
Yeah.
So,
So that's what happens when you take ice. Your hair starts to fall out. Your skin goes terrible.
Yeah.
You walk around like a skeleton. Your muscle tone's gone, and these are all the consequences. And yet girls are being offered it out there, going, "Oh, let's party up. You lose 4 kilos in a weekend," and they think it's okay. What would you say to them? So
it's not cool, it's not okay.
yeah,
You'll lose more than 4 kilos.
Yes. Yeah.
And you probably won't ever put that weight back on or that muscle tone back on ever in your life. So, yeah.
It eats away at your muscles. That's what we say. It's not cool to be on ice. It really isn't cool. So let's spread this message out there, guys. We're putting the freeze on ice. Can I show you our little sign slogan?
Yeah, I
in
think I
Magic?
remember it,
You
but
remember it?
show me.
Awesome. Okay, it goes like this. We're going to close the show with this. You can do it at home with us. Okay, it goes like this. Not,
Not
that's an N. Even, that's an E.
even. Oh,
Yeah, once.
Once.
Let's go. Ready?
Not
Not even
even
once. Guys, stay clean, stay safe. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for being on the show.
that's all right. Thank you.
Good night. God bless.
Good night.
Awesome.